So here we are, and full disclosure, I'm picking this back up after several days from the last time I recorded because things have just been very busy. And I haven't been able to get back to this game. I paused recording thinking I was going to get back to it in the same day, and that didn't happen, so I'm trying to get reacquainted here with where I was. There's an exit of sorts here with this, and I don't know. I didn't explore out here, but I went out there real quick to see if I could do anything else, and seemingly I can't. So I'm wondering if I have to go out here, if there's something out here. So let's go out this way. Okay, so there's a closet right here. I didn't come all the way out here when I was first in here, so that's obviously something that I have to look at. Okay, so let's check out this closet. Okay. Wait, to open that or anything? I guess not. There's obviously a hole there. Oh. Alex cabin rampage. There was a hole in Alex's closet. Who had done this? I wonder if this medical record, Hans having a broken wrist in the infirmary, may have something to do with this. I'm going to use the medical records here, and we're going to say since Hans was the one who was the patient in the infirmary, we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll select Hans and the medical record. And there we go. Now, why did he punch Alex's closet and break his hand in the process? Okay, so we solved the mystery. I'm gonna say we're not gonna go back into the ship just yet. I want to see if there's anything else out here that we need to do.
Cam? Can you hear me?
What is it? What? It is so unnerving to have Alex appear throughout this, but I get it.
Please, I'm over here.
What? What do you mean?
Are you there? Help me.
Oh no. No, I don't want to relive this again. No.
I can't move. I've lost feeling in my leg. You need to get me out.
Oh, not this again.
Good. If you can cut the mask. Oh, damn it. Water's coming in faster now.
We really have to relive this again?
Yes. And the next one. Cam, you're doing good. Hurry.
Why is this one taking so long to cut loose?
Don't want to die.
Ugh. Jeez. We have to relive that again? Ugh. Keep reintroducing somebody over and over again.
You left me alone in the dark.
What?
Well, I'm here now. Until we find the truth. Someone on this ship is to blame.
We didn't leave her. We were taken away from her. We got pulled out of there. going into shock. That wasn't our fault. So it's becoming very clear, obviously, that it seems as though there was a conspiracy to cover up Alex's death, or maybe it seems, I guess, more plausible that she was investigating something by evidence of the papers, and somebody probably figured out that Alex knew too much. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I don't know this for certain, okay, but I'm gonna go out on a limb right now and say that crane accident, in quotes, accidents in quotes, by the way, it'll be interesting to see if it comes out here along the way, was that rigged to fail, basically, is what I'm trying to say. We're going to find that out. And is Jesse connected to this in some way? Alright, so here we are, coming through these double doors now. What is this? Got logbooks here. I still don't really understand the whole thing from Alex saying we left her in the dark. We didn't leave her in the dark. We were pulled out of there. She sounds a little evil. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this now, but here we go. Let's take a look and see what this has to say. 29th of June. No sign of what is causing the issues with the engine, but a few minor things are out of place. We found a bolt missing. I just wish the captain would let us prioritize our search. The 30th of June. I knew something was off. The evidence I found so far proves it. So Hans wouldn't allow for seemingly the issues found with the engine, I guess, to be prioritized enough. Here we've got a drawer here. Let's see if we can open it. The game will let me open it. There we go. Click it enough times, it'll open. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything on that. Chess set. Spent months trying to teach Bailey chess. Ah, poor Bailey. A long time since I played chess. I don't think I would even be able to play it anymore. I'd have to go back and start all over again. I used to play it in junior high a lot. Alright, let's see. Look at the... Okay, I love that. There's a fish just swimming around there. Retiring seemed so far off, but Thomas mentioned it again today. And the lad knows the ropes. I taught him all I know about the Thalassa, but I know her better than anyone. How to keep these old engines purring like a kitten. When I was his age, I was... and then it's no longer legible. Question is there anything left to investigate in this space alone right here? And that I do not know, but we obviously have this over here, and then there's this, but again, we need bolt cutters. So the question I have is there bolt cutters located somewhere around here, so that I would imagine there has to be. We're going to have to be able to make our way down. I just love the way this game looks, the attention to detail, the way that the objects interact in the water, with the water. The water has an effect on the way things are. Such a great game. I mean, just from a visual standpoint, I cannot say enough about this game, really. And if anybody watches these videos and you weren't sure about this game, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Okay, so we've got a magazine. What is this? Okay, nothing that we can interact with or inspect, but we've got some stuff over here. Here's another wax roll. Here's a tea set. I love how there's fish in this part of the ship right here. I mean, we just... The tea set, look at this. And there's fish all over the place. Okay, there's a wax roll. Let's take a listen here.
You have assembled quite a crew here. Hans, for instance, sees the
Hans.
blueprint of the stoic captain. You are not wrong. With Hans, the ship always comes first. He can be very committed, but that's exactly the quality I'd want in a responsible captain. But you also have quite green hands aboard too, and in positions of responsibility. Isn't Thomas a bit young to be chief engineer?
Good question.
I don't agree. He is talented. Sure, he needs to learn to be more decisive in his new role, less a people pleaser, but he'll grow into it. But that's a lot of faith to put in one so inexperienced.
She's asking good questions.
Perhaps. How did you get your first big break, Miss Linden? Sorry, Jessie.
What is this? IG. I'm going to assume that's Isabel Greenwood. Isabel's handkerchief. We have an office right here. Okay. So again, I think we've investigated everything that we can here. I don't know whose office this is. Okay, and there's a door. We've got some pictures here on the wall. Display cases. Okay, here's a book here.
Look at that. Bit too plussed with himself, no?
And Alex's appearance, however you want to call that in this, is a little unsettling now because, I mean, you could see based on the picture, right? Obviously, it's depicting a spirit talking, but it's a little unsettling. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of unsettling.
That says a lot.
And we've got her tagging along with us now. All right, so the date here, 25th of June, 1905, to the captain, subject cradle storage. Kamar failed to complete the necessary paperwork concerning the dismantling and storage of the replacement cradle. And he spent over a half an hour taking a, quote, short break while on duty. It is his responsibility to ensure all pieces are accounted. He is currently engaged by Thomas on the engine. With your permission, I will redirect his efforts to conducting a full inventory of the new cradle parts that I will supervise. Eric. Okay, that lines up with what he was saying when he was in the main hall. But now it's pointing to the fact that obviously there were issues. Let's see, what is this here? Trash bin? What's in here? Let's take a look. What is that? A broken inkwell. Well, there's a lot of stuff to look at in here, which I would hope to be the case, right? We're in an office. So, see what this has to say. Illegible something 3rd, 1903. Dear E. Larson, it was a pleasure meeting you at your recent talk in New York. As I said that evening, I enjoyed your book on the discovery of longitude and approaches to navigation. I have a proposition for you. I am in need of a maritime historian to lead my next expedition. I'm going to say expedition. It's got to be expedition. NER of the SS Thalassa, which undoubtedly you will have heard of. My crew has undertaken several nautical expeditions in recent years, and now my focus is a personal one, the locating of and raising of the St. Catherine, a Spanish galleon captained by one of my ancestors. I would be pleased to discuss this and your role as expedition leader at my offices or over dinner. Yours sincerely, Isabel Greenwood. Oh, would you look at that? Trying to find a expedition leader, had somebody in mind. What does this say? Let's hope the investment was worth it. LL. Graduation photo. Let's take a look. Okay, let's see if we can try to piece some of this together here. And we had found there was the check inside the folder. Want to see if we can possibly move some of this stuff along. Okay, so this was Eric's graduation photo. And then the document. So there we go. So Isabel was making an offer to Eric to lead the expedition to raise the St. Catherine. And then we found the graduation photo of Eric. I'm trying to piece all this together, everybody. So this has been quite an experience overall with this game. We've still got a couple of things here to look at, so let's take a look at this book. Eric, we need to talk. Hans found out. What? What does that mean? We have a new mystery available now. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm not done looking at everything in here. Let's take a look at what's in this this desk drawer here. Okay, we just got some pencils and stuff. Oh, there's something there. History, law, accounting. Okay, that's his degree. Ink stain, what is this? That's an odd place for a blotch of ink. Anyway, we have a new mystery available now. Okay, so it looks like we have some things to solve. There's an ink stain on the wall in his office, and we have a seemingly a broken ink well. So like I said, I'm not the most intelligent person, but I feel like that's going to be connected here. There was a broken glass inkwell in Eric's waste paper basket. Would have required a fair amount of force to cause it to shatter. Alright, well, let's piece it together. Okay, let's see here. What is this? A handwritten letter from Isabel, complimenting Eric's talents and asking him to lead the St. Catherine expedition. According to a handwritten note in Eric's office, Hans had found out about a secret. Who had left a note in Eric's office? There we go. Okay. Okay. Eric and Isabel had a secret and Hans found out about it. Alright.
Isabel and Eric conspiring. I'm not surprised.
Lipstick. Okay. We've got stuff to explore over here, but I want to focus Eric. Okay, so does this open? Okay, so there's an object blocking the door. Now there is another entrance, possibly over here. Okay. I just want to go over here really quickly. I want to see if there's anything over here that we need to be aware of. Doesn't look like that's the case. Okay, so this is that door that I wanted to check out when we were over here, when we were first looking at that chess set and then that space. I wanted to go here first to see. Okay, so we can't get in there. We got some lipstick here and a book. Okay, we didn't explore over here yet, and we can't get in here. Okay, what is this? I completely missed this door over here. It says guest. Let's see what this is here. Honestly, I don't know what to expect when I'm, like, opening doors, going into any cabins or anything like that. I have no idea, and I'm like, it's very unsettling to walk in and open any of these doors, because you just don't know what if you see something floating, or... What on earth? What is all this? There's definitely more going on. An atmosphere due to the accident or something else. Alex. A tragic accident. How did it happen? Dive crew quit. Interview Matthias, Llewellyn, and Cam. Isabel. Who else is financing the expedition? Isabel has low, and then you can't read it. Hans. Rude and closed off. What is he afraid of? Eric. Tightly wound. Out of his depth. Asked to in, and then it no longer is legible. Ka illegible. What does he illegible? So I'm going to assume that's Kamar.
Jesse uncovered something nefarious.
Seemingly Jesse's cabin. Let's see if there's there's anything else laying around. Here we go. We got a letter. What is this? Illustrated New York News, 308th Avenue, New York, USA, June 5th, 1905. Miss Linden, illegible. To find some revelation about the Thalassa expedition and its members. We may have been invited to document events and run adventure features, but Scandal and Truth sells papers. See what you can dredge up. What? Some of the crew will no doubt have something to share. Let me remind you, I want to go to press as soon as you return to port and can safely telegram your expose. J.F. Chester, Editor-in-Chief. What? Mystery Progress is now available. Here we have a door. I want to make sure we haven't missed anything in here. There's got to be a little bit more in here yet. Sewing kit. What is this? Let's take a look and see what that has to say. It does say we have Mystery Progress available, so we'll come back and visit that. Green thread. I feel like that's going to be something. I feel like that's going to be something important, but we'll file that away for right now. Oh, here's a wax roll.
He's a live wire, isn't he? And he's such a good teacher. But I'm gonna need more lessons. He's just so distracting. Which is good. I could do with a distraction right now from all my other problems. I know what you mean. He is talented. But what problems are those? We can talk if you want. Well, just don't tell anyone, alright? But I'm worried about my mom. She's acting odd. I think she's keeping something from me. About the expedition? I'm not sure. She's been upset a lot of late. She thinks I don't know. But she left her papers in our rooms, and she never does that. And she yelled at me when I went to touch them. These papers, were they to do with the accident? Did you get a look at them? No, You can tell me. What's upsetting your mother? This is just a story to you, isn't it? Do you even care?
Oh boy.
Maria, screw you!
Well, that was one of the longest, if not the longest, bit of audio that we've gotten out of any of these wax rolls that have been retrieved. And that could very well be where the dissension is coming from with Maria towards Jesse, that's for sure. Now, who is she talking about? Lessons? The M&K carving? There was the wax roll with the guitar playing, all that commotion, the guitar with Kamar's name on it, the visual when we were in the mess hall of somebody looking like Kamar's outline playing the guitar. Somebody was sitting with him. The love poem. There's a lot. Okay, so we can't go into that door. Alright, I feel like we're really starting to make some progress. Now, the game is telling us, not only this time, but the time before that, we have some mystery progress available. So before we proceed, I still have some things to check around here. But since this is telling us that there's mystery progress, let's take a look. Because we got some things that are glowing yellow over here. So we have the journalist. Jesse was hired in to write about the St. Catherine mission, but she seemed to be looking into something more. What was Jesse's angle? Let's take a look here. Do we have something in here? Okay, so supporting evidence. Investigating the crew with the focus being upper management. Jesse's editor was keen for her to write on an expose. Alright. Let's see if that works. Okay. Eric was investigating Isabel. Let's see. Okay, that's not going to be it. What is this? Again, Maria gushes over Kmar. There you go. But mentions her worries. Isabel is not acting herself lately. She gets mad when Jesse presses it and leaves. Alright, let's see. Okay, it's not going to do anything with that. Nope, that's not going to be it either. Isabel has shelves filled with ring binders, financial for the past years. Okay, and she did say in the interview that Isabel was having issues when she would get near the papers and touch them. So let's try that. All right. Good stuff.
The crane broke. Isabel brought the part. She must be hiding it somewhere.
A garter was found in the infirmary. With frills and flowers. With frills and flowers. It doesn't mention anything about like green thread or anything. Wait. Frills and flower patterns. The initials read IG. Frills and flowers. Okay. And we'll say Isabel because... Oh, no way. I mean, it wasn't hard to guess with the IG initials, but we have another one with fling here. Isabel's garter was found in the infirmary storage room. Who was she having relations with? You've got to be kidding me, man. The owner of the ship out here mixing business with personal. Of course. Of course. Eric and Isabel had a secret, and Hans found out about it. Well, that's what we're going to go with there. I have a feeling it's those two. Because it's not going to have anything to do with the engine or anything with regard to this, really. And this is the investigation, so that's not anything there. So we're going to say Eric. There you go. Sneaking around the ship, Eric and Isabel were having a secret fling. How had they ended up together?
We have until they get off lunch break.
What?
Shh.
Ugh. Okay. You know what I said? You know what I always
This changes things. He wouldn't have been impartial.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Alex. You know what? This is just an observation that I have, right? But I've always, you always see this everywhere. Is when people need to be quiet or they want somebody to be quiet, the shh is always louder than if you're whispering to say quiet. Why do people do that anyway? Okay, so we have the Fling 2 at this point, and it looks like we can solve this, so let's take a look. So we have this. Eric and Isabel were sneaking around the ship, and Hans found out about it. So where it began, well, we know that she wrote the letter. Isabel, Eric, and Bailey are posing together. According to Bailey, Eric and Isabel had a turbulent start, working closely together. So let's see here. Okay, it's not going to be any of those things. We've already used the missing records. This is just a feature about her. It's not mentioning anything. Okay, that's a pamphlet. What is this? Positive article about the Thalassa and its owner, Isabel Greenwood. Okay. Let's see. Okay, and then we have to find a reason. Okay. So what is we found this. Eric published a book, Larson's Longitude. Okay, so the article kind of goes over like Isabel's passion with the water and ships and everything, and then Eric has this book and they started working together. They had a shared love for adventure. So there you go. That puts that together. Alright. So after going through and resolving a lot of the mysteries, we're piecing things slowly together. We've taken a look at Jesse's quarters. We've investigated, I think, everything there is to investigate over here. Still need to obtain a pair of bolt cutters. We've looked in the office here. We've investigated all of that. We've put all that together. Now there was a door leading into what I think is Eric's quarters, but we couldn't get in there. So I'm hoping we can do that here. We still have all this to investigate. So let's grab this. What's this lipstick here? Red lipstick. Let's see. Objects. Okay, so it's just upper quarters, but doesn't say anything about whose it is. Here's a book right here. What is this? Diary. My lessons are a dream. He is such a wonderful teacher. I could listen to him play the guitar all day if we weren't being rudely interrupted all the time. That grouser's always riding his back. And when that bonehead grabbed the guitar from his hands, I could have spat. There's so much happening. A heavy atmosphere. I heard her sobbing again last night. I need to find a way to help. Wow. Okay, so that mystery progress is available now. Let's take a look. Okay, so the mess hall commotion, which we've had for a while now, we might be able to do something with. Alright, so we'll check that out here in a bit. I want to continue exploring. I kind of want to make my way around everything else there is to make, to look at here before we go into any more further mystery investigations. And we'll see what we can do here. Okay, we've got a space here. There's a wax roll.
I've noticed there's a tension aboard the ship, especially between the top brass, yourself included. Something seems to be troubling you. You seem tired. Restless?
I have a lot to do.
Does it have anything to do with the accident? The investigation that Eric is conducting?
Yeah, he's looking into that. He's a thorough and impartial man.
Really? And the fact that doesn't concern you?
Interesting.
What? How dare you? I've told you before, I don't hold with gossip.
It is a fact. Ask them yourself. I'd say Eric's objectivity was in question. Wouldn't you?
Damn it! He's supposed to be looking into Alex's death.
Typical brass. He's in her pocket. Are you all right? You look pale. Hands?
Damn it, his name is Hans. Hands? Hands? It just drives me nuts. Pronounce the guy's name correctly, it's Hans. Hands? Shoot. It's not like anybody didn't say his name to her out loud. You can adjust accordingly. Strange boots. I still gotta go over to Eric's cabin. I kind of like got distracted and I keep wandering over this way because this spot's been visible from when we came in here, so padded boots. Okay. So I came over here and I'm looking here at this stuff. I missed this as well. I'm wandering around. I've got to stay focused on one spot because I keep jumping around different spots. That's not doing anything to help me. So I'm going to try to refocus here. Because I already pulled the wax roll out of this little storage space to the left of this poster. And I keep getting distracted and wandering around. So let's not do that anymore. Code of conduct. All individuals are expected to conduct themselves in a safe and organized fashion. This is a working ship. There will be no running or obstructions left in the corridors and gangways, and no smoking below decks. And if you use the last of something, replace it. Signed, Eric Larson. Man, somebody's on a power trip, man. Alright, so here we are going on into Thomas's room. See what we can find in here. Oh, Thomas has a door in his cabin? Oh, there's plenty of stuff to look at in here. There's a mechanical part. Interesting. Okay. Let's take a look here at the items and objects. Okay, so it looks like it's a damaged gauge and somebody tried to fit it into a place it didn't belong in. All right. And, you know, and remember too, Thomas is the one that has, like, basically free reign on designs. Isabel doesn't really sign off on anything, so who knows what he was doing. Airplane aficionados. Okay. Nothing else over here on the desk to investigate. He has his own bathroom in here. What else is there? Here's a foreign tool. Let's take a look here. Oh. Okay, so we've got more progress. Take a look here. Has a blue painted handle on it. I'm sure that's going to be of some significance for sure. Here's a cabinet. Tell me what's in this cabinet. What is... figurine of some kind. Adelina, 7th, I'm going to assume 7th of July. All right. Anything else in here? Oh.
Look at these things. He was still so young.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. These little interjections with Alex and like she just scoffed, I literally jumped. I just jumped because of that. Oh, jeez. This game has had me a little unsettled throughout playing it, I'm not gonna lie. And when you're not really expecting it, I have my volume turned up just to capture all the, you know, all the ambient noises and stuff. And so a lot of this is just when those interjections happen, I don't know they're happening, and then like a scoff like that just catches me by surprise. But I jump easily anyway. An alarm clock. Jacket. We have mystery progress available to us now. Anything of significance with this jacket? We had that other jacket that we found that had blood on it. Okay. We have this door, and then there's this book here as well. We've got a bunch of stuff that's becoming available, I think, with mysteries, so we'll have to check that out here. Workings of the water level gauge.
Did he even know what he was doing?
He's a chief engineer and he's got an Engineering 101 book. I'm gonna say the answer to that, Alex, is no. I think that's a safe bet to make. He didn't know what he was doing. And, you know, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, because Isabel is all like, oh, he can grow into the role. He'll learn as he goes, on the job experience. You know, I don't think you make somebody a chief engineer and have them learn on the job. as the chief. We got a tool set here. We got bolt cutters yet? No. Looked up around here. We opened that cabinet. There was the figurine. Check that there. We've got the jacket. The alarm clock. The engineering book. Okay, I think that's everything. We've got a door here. Does this open? All right. Well, that way is not going to be accessible. But we've got notifications here that we've got mystery progress available, so let's take a look at that real fast. Alright, we've got a bunch of stuff. The engine 2. Thomas and Kamar did an overhaul of the engines but couldn't find the issue. Why was Thomas having such problems with the engines? Okay. Well, based on the fact that it's glowing yellow, we should have enough pieces to figure this out. Working for many days, they checked and replaced several parts. Could not find the issue. Thomas's findings. Okay, that's going to be... What is this? This is that a logbook found in Thomas's cabin had this passage, 30th of June. I knew something was off. The evidence found, okay, so far proves it. Okay. So we're gonna put the fault log in there. And the suspicious sign. And that's probably... Now remember, there was that gauge, which we found here, and it says... appeared to have been damaged as if someone had tried to force it into a place where it didn't belong. It's discovered on Thomas's work desk in his cabin. Okay. And then... so we have the mangled piece, and what is this? An adjustable wrench had been put to one side, apart from the other tools. Has a blue painted handle. Okay, let's try that. Someone had tampered with them. What? Thomas having problems with the engines because someone had tampered with them without Thomas's knowledge. Who had tampered with the engines?
If Thomas found someone tampering with the engine, what if the crane was sabotaged as well?
Yeah. What if? That's a really good question, Alex. Stop scaring the hell out of me, will you? With, like, just giving me your thoughts. I appreciate that you're here trying to help me, but you're scaring the hell out of me every time you jump in like that. Okay. Well, we've got Catastrophe on board. Glowing yellow, so let's take a look. Now remember this, a bloody jacket with a needle and thread was found in the crew living area. Who was badly hurt? So we remember we found that sewing kit in Jesse's cabin. But who was hurt? We found a bloody jacket. A curved needle and green thread. That was the sewing kit that belonged to, that was in Jesse's cabin. So where is the sewing kit? Let's see. I probably skipped right over it. There it is. Because remember, that had some green thread, and it says curved needles. And that belonged to Jesse. What? Oh, whoops. Okay, that goes over here. That's my fault. I messed that up. Sewing kit, Jesse. We'll put that there. Okay. A bloody jacket. Who is badly hurt? Now there was Thomas's jacket. Wait a minute. Okay, that matches. Who is badly hurt? Okay, I'm gonna say Thomas. Let's go with this. So we have the jacket we found in Thomas's cabin, and it was his. And then the sewing kit had the green thread and the curved needles, and that belonged to Jessie. So she was helping him, apparently. All right, there we go. A bloody jacket with a needle and thread was found in the crew living area. Thomas had been badly hurt, and Jesse seemed to have patched him up. All right. Mess hall commotion. And this one we've had for quite some time now, but it looks like we have everything that we'll need to solve it. So according to an interview found, Hans doesn't like Jesse being on board. The interview is interrupted by a commotion. A guitar that was playing stops abruptly, and Maria is shouting. Okay. So. Let's see here. Trying to remember this a little bit. I don't think this is it. I don't think this is related, relevant to this one anyway. I feel like we gotta have something else that would fit that better. So let's see. Let's see. Okay. What is... Maria was receiving guitar lessons from someone she idolized. The lesson was interrupted by someone who was always riding his back. Turned into an altercation. Okay, that fits that. Sign of person involved. Okay. Sign of person involved. Wait, the guitar. Kamar was found in the maintenance hall. Okay. Who was there? Kamar. Okay, so Maria's guitar lesson was interrupted, with Kamar, was interrupted by someone. Maria's music lesson was interrupted when Kamar was involved in an altercation. With whom and why? Always riding his back. Okay, well, we know that Eric is always on Kamar's case. So we're definitely going to go with that. And there was something... not code of conduct. Eric kept detailed records of the crew's conduct and their work, which he raised with both Hans and Isabel. He was the most frustrated with Kamar, who had not been updating his reports and taking breaks. So that would make sense, because if Kamar was giving a guitar lesson to Maria, maybe he perceived that as a break, and he was already frustrated. We remember that conversation from the main hall at the beginning of the game. Signs of friction. Okay, so that's going to be an interview. We've got interviews to pick from here. Okay, I don't think it's this Hans interview. Okay, it's not that. Maybe it's this. It has to be that. No? Okay, so I feel like this fits. Okay, Hans interview. It's not that. Huh. The two don't get along. Alright, let's go with that. There we go. Okay. Alright. I'm good with that. Maria's guitar lesson with Kamar was interrupted by Eric. They had an altercation in the mess hall due to work disagreements. Ooh, cutscene.
Kamar, I need a word.
I'm busy at the moment.
This is important. The repairs I tasked you with are long overdue. I am tired of having to chase...
Calm down. I did that yesterday.
Well, there's no report of that. How am I supposed to know?
How about trusting that I've done it?
I would trust you if you weren't prioritizing everything else. And don't you think it's inappropriate to spend this much time with a child?
Who are you calling a child?
The only way you know how to show authority is by berating people.
Hey, you're out of line!
What are you doing?
Wow. Wow. Man, Eric's lucky he didn't get punched. Boss or not. Okay, so here we go. We've got more progression now. So Kamar's work showed signs of him disregarding routine and rules. Set by Eric. Okay, so let's see. Eric and Kamar had a disagreement regarding work. Eric was frustrated by Kamar's lack of structure and refusal to write reports. Meanwhile, Kamar was annoyed with Eric's lack of trust and rigid routines. All right, let's... Okay, and let's see here. Maybe the whiskey bottle? Hey, that whiskey bottle's got lipstick on it. We picked up that lipstick. I don't know whose it is, though. So whose lipstick is that that's on that bottle? We found that lipstick in the other section there. Not far from where we are currently. I can speak today. Well, let's try and piece this together. Let's see. All right. There were complaints about Kamar's diligence and integrity. All right. Okay, we've got another mystery. But we still have this here, Late Night Wanderer, which apparently we can solve. According to Jesse's dictation, someone was sneaking out on deck at night. Who is doing this? Signs of sneaking. Okay, signs of sneaking. Well, there's padded boots. Why would you have padded boots other than if you're trying to be quiet? cloth is glued onto the bottom of a pair of Thomas's shoes, likely to reduce noise. Okay, let's see. And so we have padded boots. I don't know. Okay, so we have the padded boots right here. Oh wait, there's a padded clock. What is this? Cloth has been glued onto the bells of a clock in Thomas's room, possibly indicating an attempt to reduce the noise of the alarm. That's weird. Who snuck around? Well, found all this padded stuff in Thomas's quarters. Let's say Thomas. There we go. He was sneaking around at night. Jesse had noticed someone was taking late night trips out on deck during the night. Seems Thomas was the one who was trying to not wake anyone, muffling his boots and silencing his alarm clock. Sneaky Thomas. Ooh. Let's follow him. That's pretty clever. What? Hey, come on, I wanted to see what was going on there. And we still have mysteries to unlock here. Investigating Thomas. Okay, he was new and unproven. He had recently completed an apprenticeship. An apprenticeship. Okay. Engine tampering. Thomas was having a problem with the engines because someone had tampered with them. Okay, well, he had an Engineering 101 book in his cabin. So I feel like that's kind of an issue. And Thomas was also badly hurt, but I don't think any of that has anything to do with this. In looking at this, so like the diligence complaint, that's dealing with Kmar and Eric. And again, this is Kmar and Eric. That's not really going to do anything to help us there. The fling has nothing to do with him. What is... Okay. Thomas was sneaking out at night, trying to keep it a secret. Well, let's do that. Submarine toy. Found in Thomas's cabin. Okay, well that's related to the water. Girl figurine. Found in Thomas's cabin. It says signs of immaturity. Posters from airplane aficionados found in Thomas's cabin. What the heck? There were concerns aboard the Thalassa regarding Thomas's experience and reliability. Okay, so now we have a new clue, which is complacency concerns. Wow, we have made a lot of progress here with regard to the mysteries at this point. So we're gonna head out the door here. Now, this is where he walked out, if I am correct in my assumptions. Pretty ingenious to put cloth and stuff on your boots and your alarm clock bells.
Look out.
What the? Whoa. Yeah, that didn't happen by accident. Did that hit us or what?
You look lost.
Oh. We got flares. Well, we're gonna follow the flares. Another, I guess this is another dream sequence.
Lost without him. Without me. Without us to guide you.
Yeah, that's for sure. Just keep following the lights here.
There are more questions than answers.
There's that gauge again. Alright, let's keep moving on here. Find our way. Oh. What is that? When in doubt in this dream sequence, just follow the light. That's all you gotta do. What is that? I wish you could at least run a little bit in this game from time to time, because like I'm walking right now towards this, it looks like a porthole light, but it's taking so long, it feels like, just to walk towards it. Oh, nice.
How can you find out anything? You don't know these people.
What the? Where are we? Are we still in a... Okay. Can I go into this door? Will this door open?
You can't connect with anyone.
All right. I don't know how I really feel about these dream sequences. They're a little jarring at times.
You think I'd trust you with my secrets?
What?
Get out of there! Wake up! Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Is Alex our friend here or what?
Are you there? Can you hear me, Cap? Damn it. How about now? What's going on?
We're trapped under this lifeboat from the looks of it.
Take deep breaths. I know it's tough, but you need to remember your training.
Is it? Do I keep mashing? No. Okay, there we go.
Deep breaths. Assess the situation. Look at your surroundings.
Oh, here's an ore. Can we get this? Oh man, we're trapped bad. See what we can do here. Push that. we go. Oh, man. Go, Cam. All right. We are free. That was no accident.
Sorry that I left. I don't know what happened. Luckily, I managed to fix the radio in time.
So the radio went out.
Best you not mention me. He wouldn't understand. Would only worry.
Are you sure you're all right?
Not having our character have any sort of not verbalizing at times, that's a little bit difficult for me to follow, because at times I'm not sure, you know, I'm going off of the responses of the other characters, and I'm like, okay, I guess our character Cam is saying something. Alright, so here we are. I guess this is... because we came from that direction. Again, my bad sense of direction is kicking in right now. We have a map, which I always seem to forget that I have a map. Okay, yeah, so we need to head in and then go to that area there. That's an area of interest, so we're going the right way. Man. Alright, let's see something here. So, let's take a look at the map. Okay, so the area... now, the area of interest, we can go that way. We do have another spot over here, so... oh, we got bolt cutters!
These will let us make better progress.
It's about freaking time we got bolt cutters. Thank goodness. Oh, we're gonna be able to start really hopefully making some progress here. Alright, so this is the engine room. Right? Or... okay, we got, looks like tin snips and clutter here. Okay, there's tin snips. What are they used for? Okay, so it says here, we got these pipes. Hopefully that ties together with the tin snips. Okay, so there's some kind of markings on there. Okay, drawings on the pipes. Okay. Let's take a look at the map again. Alright. Let's take a look and see what that says with regard to the objects. So the drawings. The circular symbol, and then we've got the tin snips here with a green handle. Part of a set. Okay. Alright. I think as far as what we can do here, I guess we are done here in this little section. It's not highlighted anymore on the map, so that leads me to think that we probably need to move back over here. I want to check this. No wax rolls or anything. That's kind of odd there's no wax rolls or anything sitting right there. You know, we've had that be the case in other situations, so. Alright. And again, just to reacquaint ourselves with where we are, that was our original entry point. This door is not anything available to us to use. Nothing of note or interest over here, so we can...
We're coming up on stairs back to the hub. Maybe we can clear them from this side.
We had a couple spots. Oh, look at this. Now we're up here. Okay. All right. Let's take a look here. These doors aren't accessible. Look at that, we got the chains here. I assume we can snip these now. Whoa. Alright, there we go. We opened that up. And I don't know if there's anything over here to look at. Oh, here we go. I was like, it says crucial area. I'm like, okay, what are we gonna find? There we are. What can we glean from this?
Last time we were talking about growing into your new role, the responsibility. How are you finding it?
Challenging. I'm being pulled in several directions. But what I need to do is just make sure everything is safe and working.
You have concerns about safety then?
Engines are complicated. But no, Kmart and I have it all in hand. Even if Hans is breathing down my neck.
Would it interest you to know that while you were on leave, just before I came on board, well, it seems that Hans had another engineer look things over.
What? No. Nobody mentioned that to me.
Hans got another engineer in with Isabel's blessing.
Damned idiots! How could they? And not to tell the chief engineer. I swear he has in for me because I'm young, that bitter old man.
Wow.
Sorry. I have to go. See what damage they've done.
Well, that is quite a revelation, isn't it? Wow. Alright. And this door here. Does this open? Now? Okay, that doesn't open. Alright. So we gotta come back this way. We have access down that way now because of clearing that. We have this out here to investigate.
It doesn't look safe. Better not to risk it. There's still things to discover here.
It feels like there's a lot more to discover here, frankly. Alright, so that door won't open. If we come back and we consult the map here. Now it says here that we're still in a crucial area. That has not cleared. So that leads me to think we are still missing something up here. Because it's not as if down where where those stairs go, it is not like, it's not indicating that that is where we need to go. So there's got to be something. Somewhere? Oh, what is this? Here's a photo. I walked right by this. Was that Isabel? Must have been another scrapbook photo that... Okay, let's take a look at that. Huh. Alright, let's see. Objects. Paintings and artifacts. Her lavish apartment. Alright, so when we check the map now... Okay, we've cleared that area now. And we can't get past... down that other direction. Down here. We can't go beyond here, so... It looks like... we've got to find our way, I guess, over here. Based on the map. So we'll come down this way. Because if I remember right, the pantry, we needed... I think we needed bolt cutters for that? I think. Oh wait. Pantry was over this way. So if I look at the map here... that's where it looks like it's telling me to go. So let's move on in here. Make our way this way. I don't know what it is about this game, but it... What is this? There's another ring binder now? How did this ring binder not be... This ring binder wasn't available before? Stock portfolio. What? Is this not accessible before? We were in here before. We were in here twice. Weird. Okay, maybe I don't know, maybe that just became available. Anyway. I remember the pantry door, I think, was the one that we needed bolt cutters. We had the bolt cutters for that mess hall. You know, I feel like that lifeboat falling on us was not an accident. I'm not sure how I feel about being in this room. It's a broken padlock. Okay, we have food scraps right here. Okay. Blanket. The heck? Food scraps and blanket, and a blanket in this area here. What? Candles. Okay. Like somebody was like... somebody was sleeping in there or something. I want to get out of this room. It says mystery progress is available too. Let's take a look here. Okay, the engine 3. Someone had been tampering with the engines without Thomas's knowledge. Who had tampered with the engines? We had that interview with Thomas, and he was really upset that there was another engineer on board, so we're going to go with that. Okay, so that's solved. There's access to a ventilation room through the pantry, which was filled with clutter. What's going on in there? Well, yeah, obviously somebody was setting up camp in there. Which we just had. There was a makeshift camp. And there was food scraps. Wait, I think I messed that up. Okay, so I think... because there's this here as well. Alright, let me flip this around. So put the broken lock, and then the makeshift camp and the food scraps there. There we go. I'm smart. Okay. So there were signs that a stowaway had made a hidden space in the ventilation, their home, and that they were stealing from the pantry. How did they get around unnoticed? Oh, cutscene. Alright, we got another mystery. So we have those bolt cutters now, which we can finally gain access to those gates. Those closed gates in this closed off area here, I should say. Now that we have our trusty tool. There we go. More progress. Here we are, we're up in the mess hall. Okay. This is good. Got another jacket here. Oh. Thing is all beat up. Let's take a look. Item real quick here. Captain's jacket covered in ink stains. Okay. Well, that's compelling. All right. Let us see here. Big old piano. Got a staircase. Oh, another wax roll.
You're right, it is a disruption for Maria, but I've worked tirelessly to make the Thalassa a home away from home. I prefer this, not being treated like a small child, being bossed around in some dumb boarding school. Even if the ship feels a bit isolating, the garden is hacked and some of the crew's a bash. And not to forget, this whole expedition is about our family, our history, which meant so much to your grandfather. The Thalassa is incredible, a grand endeavor. Maintaining all of this must cost a fortune. I understand that the St. Catherine expedition is solely funded by you. As you know, my business has been steady and our family stocks and bonds keep us afloat. Less buoyant of late, surely. Your stocks have been in free fall the last year. Recent runs on the market hit your assets pretty hard.
She's not sugarcoating anything, is she?
Mom? It's alright, Maria. journalist of your stature would learn the intricacies of the market, Miss Linden. Anyway, I think we're done here. Haven't you got a music lesson, my dear? I have everything I need. Thank you, Isabel. Maria.
Well then. Isn't that interesting turn of events? Look at this, we got some things so we can piece together. Signs of her new focus. Well, we have this Isabel interview. During what seemed like a daughter-mother interview, unexpectedly, Jesse calls Isabel's finances into question. Isabel defends herself, stating her stocks are doing well. Maria gushes over Kmar, but mentions her worries. Isabel is not acting herself lately. She gets mad when she presses it and leaves. Well, it seems like a mother-daughter interview. We have a mother and daughter interview right there. Who is the focus? Say Isabel? There we go. Facing pressure from her editor, Jessie chose to dig up potentially damaging information on Isabel. Discovering possibly worrisome information, she found motivation to pursue the truth. What did she find out about Isabel? Looks like we got quite a few things we can solve right now, so that's exciting. Okay, so let's take a look here at the office incident. A large stain, Eric's office, originated from an inkwell that was smashed into the wall. Who could have done it and why? So we have this stained jacket, captain's jacket. Since that's a captain's jacket, we're going to say Hans. Person's motivation. Alright. We have the secret fling sneaking around the ship Eric and Isabel were having that Hans found out about. Okay, so that would explain the ink jacket. And then there was this interview with Hans right here. If you remember that. States that a revelation is someone compromising Eric's objectivity. So there you go. Hans was angry at Eric for having a fling with Isabel. Oh. Ooh,
Is it true that you and Mrs. Greenwood are having a fling?
Well, with respect, Captain, if we were... It is none of your business how I or Isabel conduct our personal lives.
None of my business. None of my business. I trusted you to look into Alex's... You're supposed to be conducting an investigation and said you're sleeping with the suspects.
You're out of line, Captain. Whatever I or Isabel choose to do is our own affair. And I take my role and my duties seriously.
So now we have a new clue.
That doesn't sound like Hans. He's normally calm and collected.
So Jesse was writing an expose on Isabel. How was the work going? Scoops on Isabel. So we've got some interviews to select from here. Okay, I don't think that's going to be of any importance. Okay, so let's go with the Isabel interview. And let's see. I don't know, let's just go with that. Because that could be like the big thing, right? The owner of the Thalassa having an affair with one of her employees. All the things that can come from that. Jessie had uncovered several pieces of information about Isabel that she could use in her expose. So Eric was investigating Isabel. She was acting strange, financial records were missing from her office. Okay, and let's see if there's anything else here. There's stock reports here. Information found in Isabel's office. Her stocks had started plummeting in 1903. Let's see if that does it. Alright, there we go. Isabel was lying about her finances. Her stocks had plummeted. What was really going on with her and finances, and how did that affect the ship?
Well, we don't have the full story yet.
But she was lying.
Why is that so
Clearly
loud?
wanting Jessie to learn about her failed finances. You remember her apartment? More like a house at the back of the ship. Famous paintings, her best treasures from her travels, statues, you name it.
That's that picture.
What happens when folk used to that lifestyle risk losing it?
I don't know, you sink a ship and hope to cash in on insurance money, maybe, perhaps? Just throwing that out there. Okay, looks like we gotta go up this way. We got more chains blocking our way, but we can get through here now. Click and snip. There we go. Alright. Here we are back up here again, so now we've got an entryway, or a passageway rather. We're starting to just unlock everything with regard to throughout the ship that we can get our way around, move around a little easier. Okay, so it looks like we have to go into the office right here. It's highlighted as an area of interest again. See, and that's the thing, it's like every time you think you get everything, you don't. There's always like you're revisiting spaces and all that, which is fine, but it's like you remember hitting key points in here. Wait, what is this? Infirmary key. There's a spot there in the infirmary that we have to go to. Right here. We got the infirmary key, so that would make sense that we would have to go there. But now we can go down this way. At least there's a quicker way to navigate around. It's obviously just taking a little bit of time to be able to do that, but we're getting somewhere. Here we go. Here's the infirmary. And remember, there was a room in here that needed a key. Or I should say a door that needed a key. Alright, so we gotta turn around. And right here. Okay. Let's go. What is this? We got a book right here. Dispensing log. Location, SS Thalassa. Dispensing physician, Doc R.C. Fansha. Prescribed for melancholy. June 20th, Captain H. Fisher. Dispensed for melancholy. Okay, we got mystery progress available, and it also says there is one that can be solved as well. We just want to make sure that there is not anything else in here that we need to do. Let's go check the map. Okay, so we've cleared this as a means for, as an area of interest. So it says that there's a mystery that can be solved. Something wrong with Hans. And remember, we had that interview which talked about the Cadre interview. So we'll say the prescription book, Hans Fischer. And let's see. Okay, so this is seemingly the only thing that we have here that would qualify as any sort of like a medication or something would be this heroin bottle. And it says heroin, illegible NE20th. And this says June 20th. So that's enough of a connecting dot for me. There we go. Since the 20th of June, Hans has been prescribed heroin for melancholy. Cadre was concerned about him. What was the cause of his melancholy? Oh boy.
Did you want something else, Captain?
A what? Oh, no. No, thank you.
Yeah, it seems like that. It's really taking a toll on him.
It's none of our business. The captain wasn't quite right to reign.
Really? Clearly Hans was disturbed. But by what?